9 tips to help you become more charming and attract people easily. Hello, my beautiful ladies. Welcome to or welcome back to Your Feminine Mark. My name is Maria, and today I'm going to give you 9 tips that will help you to become a charming person and take your networking game to a higher level. Now, women that possess a charming, comforting aura do get what they want in life faster than constrained, socially awkward ones. In reality, being charming and nice to converse with is no rocket science, and the tips that I'm about to give you may seem basic at first sight, but there are subtle nuances about them that will take them from simple tips to very powerful, charismatic advice if you listen carefully and catch the nuances. Enough talking, let's get straight to the tips. Number 1. Show a genuine smile. Smiling is one of the fastest and surest ways to communicate your friendly disposition and comfort people you converse with. Because it is such an easy thing to do, people have learned to fake a smile to trick people to their advantage. But you can easily discern a fake smile from a real one, so if you try to trick someone with a fake smile, you will easily lose the trust of that person as soon as they realize what you are trying to do. So it's very important to be genuine. Naturally, when someone smiles at us, we tend to look at their eyes and only then at their mouth. So when you smile, smile with your eyes also. A genuine, beaming smile lights up your whole face, which makes you appear very affable and easy to talk to. Now, in order to be able to smile genuinely, you need to learn to find humor in every situation in life. Oftentimes, we suppress our genuine emotions because we are afraid to come off ludicrous, but in reality, being able to find something to smile at or laugh about in every situation makes you very charismatic and attractive. Because everyone likes to be reminded of a lighter side of life. And in reality, people like other people who take the conversation into a more positive direction and light up the mood of the whole company. So this will definitely score you some points. Number 2, highlight the people around you. Making people around you feel interesting, well-liked, funny, putting the spotlight on them takes your own charisma to a higher level. People like to be heard. Their jokes to be laughed at. So when you do make them comforted like that, they will genuinely want to become your friends because they will feel at ease in your presence. Avoid sarcastic jokes and phrases that mock people's behavior. It's very easy to fall into that vicious ego trap as this sarcastic conversation culture is so popular in our society, and many people use dark humor to draw attention to their persona and be liked. But it is not charming whatsoever. At that moment, you might be liked by some people, but you will definitely appear more charming and charismatic if you support the people around and are being polite to them. Because what energy you exude, the same energy you attract. So when you are being sarcastic with someone or are mocking someone's behavior, do not be surprised later on when people do the same to you. So when someone makes a bad joke or does something silly, do not haste to mock that person. Instead, support them to help them out of an embarrassing situation. Not all people have the courage to do so, and by this action, you will win the reputation of a nice person that can be trusted and will not judge, which is very charming. Number 3, don't be afraid to take the first step to connect with someone. Now, there are a lot of introverted people out there who are merely too shy to start a conversation themselves. But if you find the right approach, these people will open up to you and will form a connection with you. There are so many ways to approach a person charmingly. One of them is to be observant and to compliment others. A compliment can be one of the best ways to start a conversation. Not only do you start a conversation, but you also win people over this way because who doesn't like to be complimented? If you see a woman wearing a beautiful dress, you can approach her by saying, "You've got such a wonderful taste. I like your dress a lot." Or if someone is an eloquent talker, you can say, "I really enjoy listening to you. You've got so many interesting things to say." Now, to be able to compliment people, you need to be observant and attentive. People especially like when you pay attention to the details about them. This shows your genuine interest. So when you're out and about socializing, you might want to observe people before approaching them so that you can have some nice compliment to approach them with. Number 4 is to learn to find a common ground. Now, there are some situations in all people's lives that give us a hard time managing them. The way you deal with unpleasant situations, comments, conversations, etc. really does say a lot about you. Sometimes it will even determine how people view you. If you learn to manage them in a classy way, still having your charm, people will respect you for that and will even want to befriend you. Plus, I'm convinced that if you use your charm by being polite in a heated discussion, people will not want to trip on you. They will most likely want to also be polite and respectful towards you. Number 5. Don't shy away from making eye contact. Our eyes are a very powerful tool of communication. We also avoid a direct look from another person if we have something to hide. So whenever you make an eye contact with someone, it reflects your sincerity and openness. Another thing about an eye contact is that it indicates that you are focused on the person you are speaking with and are paying attention to what they are saying. Everyone loves a good listener. And when you show genuine interest in the person and make them feel important and heard, it makes you more charming. Also, if you avoid looking people in the eyes, it may come across as if you don't like them or don't want to talk to them, which may make the person uncomfortable. If you are a very shy person or just don't feel comfortable looking people directly in the eyes, you can use little tricks like hovering your eyes over a person's face, looking at their eyes, then at their nose for a couple of seconds, then at their brows for a couple of seconds, and so on. Or you can just look at the bridge of their nose. Whenever you look between a person's eyes, in their eyes, it doesn't differ from a direct eye contact. So when you look at the bridge of their nose, they feel like there is a direct eye contact happening between you two. Anyway, practicing good eye contact is a great skill for a vital and trustworthy conversation. And when you possess that skill, it certainly adds up to your charm. Another thing that makes you more charming is when you remember people's names when you meet them for the first time. This fact is a little unusual to my taste, but oddly enough, people like the sound of their own name. The more often you address a person by their name in a conversation, the more the person will feel that you like them, and this will make them warm up to you. This may seem like a very small detail, but it feels very nice when you meet a person you got acquainted with on some event and they remember your name. You instantly feel likable, you instantly feel noticed, and it warms you up. So remembering people's names is definitely a worthy point. However, there are some people who aren't that good with names. In this case, create some associations in your head. For instance, Mary with blue eyes and beautiful blonde hair. Or Isabel with voluminous hair and beautiful smile. These associations can be anything that caught your attention in this person. It is up to you how you describe them in your head. After all, it doesn't matter what association you choose to put on a name. What matters is that you remember the person and you remember their name, and you can later address that person by their name, which will really help you to warm that person up a little. 7th tip is to use charming body language. Now, we all use our body language whether we are aware of it or not. When we are anxious, stressed, or scared, we tend to cross our arms on our chest, cast our eyes down instead of looking people in the eyes, and so on. So in order not to create a tense air around you and make people feel like something is off, relax a little bit. Learn how to feel comfortable around people, Practice your confidence and you will have a charming, charismatic air about you, which will draw people to you naturally. People sometimes pick up on our body language even more than on our words, so it's important to have an inviting aura. Watch how you stand and position your arms. Closed body language, when you, for instance, fold your arms and slouch, may signal various things. Maybe you're insecure, maybe you are bored, maybe you don't trust the person, or maybe you just don't care about this conversation. And you see, none of these things make you appear charming. So watch your posture, make sure it's open, make sure you appear friendly and charming by smiling or smizing. By paying attention to these details about you, you will see that you will have an easier time meeting and attracting new people, which will definitely benefit your life. 8th tip is to be polite. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, wow, what a basic tip, it is so obvious. And you may be right, yet for some reason, not everyone remembers about this. Of course, it's pivotal to never forget to thank people, say excuse me when needed, but I want to talk about another important aspect of being polite. For some reason, and it is very unfortunate, some of us believe that when we come to, let's say, a cafe or a restaurant and there is a waiter serving us, we don't have to thank them. We don't have to be polite with them because they're just a service and we paid our money not to smile at the waiter. We paid our money to enjoy our meal and it's them who have to smile at us. Some go even further and complain about everything, and the waiter has to listen to all that rambling. Or let's imagine another situation. You ordered something at, I don't know, let's say Starbucks, and you've got the wrong the wrong order. Now, there are people who don't hesitate to instantly express their complaint in a very arrogant, negative way. And of course, ladies, by this point you've probably understood that this kind of behavior can definitely not be called charming. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, whether it be an affluent businessman or a waiter at a cafe, both of them are people. So if you truly want to be charming, watch your day-to-day behavior and how you treat other people. If you want to be perceived as a nice, charming person, then be so with everyone. You see, you cannot be 4 different people in 4 different settings. It's a little bit weird. You can't be rude to a customer service today and be all charm and elegance at a party later. That is not called charming, that is called hypocritical. And you are not a hypocrite, you are an elegant lady after all. The last tip of this video is to make sure that you are well groomed. Now you may be wondering, Mary, how does my grooming help me to become more charming? I thought it all lies in one's manners and behavior. Well, again, you may be right here, it is mostly about our manners and behavior, but you see, we live in a very superficial world, unfortunately. It sounds harsh, but that is the reality. When you look put together, you are more attractive and therefore charming, because it's more pleasant to talk to a person whose whole appearance is groomed, whose perfume smells nice, whose breath is fresh, etc. We've talked a little about the importance of our appearance as for feminine ladies before on this channel, and for sure we'll be discussing it more in the future, but I don't think that this point is hard to implement. Just always make sure your clothes are clean, your hair put together, your makeup okay, carry some mints and tissues in your purse just in case, and that's basically it. My dear ladies, these were my 9 tips to help you be more charming and attract people to you easier. I really hope you found these tips useful. Now, in this video, we talked about things you should do to be more charming, but I have another video on my channel in which I talk about things you should avoid as a classy, elegant lady. So make sure to check that one out as well. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!